If you're just about to start sending out messages on WhatsApp and are choosing how to do it, then this video is just for you. And in it, I'll show you all the messaging options. Paid, free, official, and outright shady ones that aren't even worth using, as many of you use these methods and constantly get blocked as a result. And at the end of the video, I'll summarize and compare the pros and cons of each of these messaging types. And you'll be able to choose the most effective method for you based specifically on your own needs. If you still have questions, you can always write to me or call, and I'll help you not only with choosing a method, but also with setting up the mailing itself. So, 6 ways to send messages in the WhatsApp Messenger. Method number 1. Legal, company-approved WhatsApp messaging is carried out through the service's official API, the WhatsApp Business API. The bulk of small businesses consider this method to be a bit expensive for them, as there's a fairly substantial subscription fee, plus the cost per message and the cost for starting a conversation. And it's not uncommon for one company to buy access to this API and then resell it at retail. At a cheaper price, well, let's say from 500 rubles a month. This method can be used. There's nothing particularly criminal about buying it secondhand. Although WhatsApp's policy, of course, does not allow this. You'll just have to pay a subscription fee, pay per message, and pay to activate chats with a new client. But the thing is, the reputation of other users of this service will be combined with yours. And if the service has any problems with other clients, these problems will naturally affect you as well. The second, also legal and company-approved method is messaging through the WhatsApp Business app. In it, you can create a broadcast list based on your contacts from your address book. Create a list of 256 users this way and send them a message. You can make several such broadcast lists and send up to 1,000 messages a day to clients. This quantity is specified in the WhatsApp license agreement, although quite often this number, of course, can be exceeded. Cons of such a mailing: it can't be personalized, meaning you can't address each recipient by name, and only those who have you in their contact list will receive your messages. So this tool is just so-so, but it's free and easy to use. Available to any user who is able to install the free official WhatsApp Business app from the App Store or Play Market. Method number 3. Messaging via the browser's web interface. This is perhaps the most common way of messaging, as of today. The company itself doesn't approve of this method and considers it illegal. Browser-based mailing can be done in 2 ways. Through an extension built directly into the browser itself, like Google Chrome, Opera, Mozilla Firefox, or Yandex Browser. The second method for browser mailing is through a separate program. It uses a browser internally. In the first option, using an extension, if you keep pauses and make the message text varied, and send messages from a browser you've used before to talk to clients via WhatsApp web, then the system sees you as a legitimate user. And if you use a single number for mailings and it's already warmed up and your mailing needs are up to 250 messages to new numbers and up to 1,000 messages per day to those numbers you've chatted with before, then this method is probably the best for you, as it lets you create and send personalized messages addressing each recipient by name. It also allows you to send other individual data in the messages. Well, for example, you can send each recipient a personal promo code, the number of bonuses on their card, or their current balance. Basically anything you want. The second option isn't through a browser extension, but through a program that uses Microsoft Edge. It's just as flexible and good as the first one. The one via the browser extension, plus with the software version, you can mail from multiple accounts by registering 2, 3, 10 numbers or more. Mail from each individual number or put them on rotation so that messages are sent. First by one number, then another, then a third, and so on in a circle, where each number sends a certain amount of messages and passes the baton to the next, reducing the load on each individual number. However, with this mailing method, WhatsApp sees that it's not a real user sending them and will naturally suspect automated software. And it won't just suspect it, it'll be sure of it, realizing that several accounts are running in parallel on one computer, and in the exact same browser, and on the exact same IP address. Basically, when you're not 3 years old anymore, but at least 20, and you're visited by your own grandfather dressed as Santa Claus, you're unlikely to believe it's an old man from the far north who came on reindeer and has an office full of gnomes, right? I'd recommend this software mailing method more to those working with subscribers they've chatted with before, where the chance of a complaint from the recipient is minimized. By the way, if you don't have enough warmed up numbers, then as of today, meaning early 2024, such a program is probably the only way to help warm up new accounts. Now, for method number 4. This is sending messages directly from your phone, right from the WhatsApp app. This is only possible on Android platforms, as only they allow one application to control another application. The clear advantages of this method: with mobile internet on, you have a separate IP address, and the system sees that the message is being sent by its own official application. And if you respect the speed limits, from pauses between messages to the typing speed, the system will be completely unaware that this is an automated mailing. Method number 5. This is when you install an Android emulator on your computer. This could be BlueStacks, LD Player, or any other emulator. That is, a phone is simulated on the computer, or more often, several phones, and messages are sent through the application or browser in the emulator. I won't go into details. I'll just recommend you forget about this mailing method right away, as it's the one most often used by spammers, and WhatsApp's anti-spam system has learned to detect it very well. First, the system immediately sees it's an emulator. And second, behind these emulators, the same computer is clearly visible. And systems that completely isolate the emulator from the computer cost extra money and are too difficult to set up. And besides everything mentioned above, they require constant updates. In short, the cost of software and maintenance for such a system will negate all the benefits. Take my word for it. Now for method number 6, services. Although this isn't some new method, but rather a combination of the previous ones I mentioned earlier. Well, basically, some services sent officially. Those are the ones who purchase the WhatsApp Business API. Others use browser-based mailings or build networks on emulators. Exactly how they do it and how well, that's another question. Services with a good reputation assign each user a separate IP address, rather than putting several clients on one IP address. They carefully save browser history for browser-based mailings and so on and so forth. That is, they care about their visitors. This method might not be the worst option for mailing. But if you run your own business and send mostly to the same clients, I wouldn't recommend using services. Or choose a service that already has a very good reputation. And now let's summarize. First, we have official mailing through the WhatsApp Business API. Second, we have mailing through WhatsApp Business. This is creating mailing lists in the official WhatsApp Business app on a smartphone. Third, there is browser-based mailing through an extension. Fourth, there is multi-browser mailing through a program that manages multiple browsers. Fifth, there is mailing directly through the phone itself. And mailing through emulators is the 6th. And if you have a large company and today you send 10 messages, but tomorrow you need to send 10,000, and all this is done through 1S or some other CRM systems, if you don't need to simulate a manager or a private person talking to the client, and the focus is on complete exclusion. In this cycle of people, then choose option number 1, the official WhatsApp Business API, or you can deal with someone who resells this service. Well, depending on your financial capabilities. If you have a small company, or if you are your company and you have one phone that's already warmed up, your customer base isn't growing fast, and you just need to set up regular message sending, and you know in advance there won't be many complaints, then choose option number 3. That is broadcasting through the browser that you normally use anyway when communicating with your clients. If you have several businesses, if complaints are frequent, numbers sometimes get banned, and they need to rest, then warm up a bit and be launched for broadcasting again. Or maybe you buy new numbers regularly, which also need to be warmed up from scratch. In short, you're juggling things this way and that. Choose option 4 or 5. 4 is a program that manages multiple browsers, and usually, in such programs, besides the warm-up module, there's a broadcasting module, a group parser, a WhatsApp number checker, and many other tools to help the process. Or option 5 is sending messages directly from the phone. Setting up the warm-up, however, is quite difficult this way. And sending messages implies that if a client replies, you'll have to communicate with them from a computer. You wouldn't want to interrupt the broadcast on the phone. So, most likely, getting by exclusively with the 5th method won't work. That means you'll need to combine this method with some other one. Or do the broadcast separately, and then take the phone and reply separately to the messages that accumulated during the broadcast. As for the 6th option, as I said before, it's better not to get involved at all. I hope I've helped you make the right choice. And if you have any questions left, call this phone number right here. Other ways to contact me are in the description below this video. Write to me. I'll help you set up your broadcast, and good luck to all of us.